Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to another Seed Sunday. Today I have something rather different for you, as you can probably tell from the TU1 menu screen we're on, because this is actually back when Minecraft was absolutely dragon-free, because today we're going to be doing a TU1 versus TU30 seed comparison. So to do that, we're obviously going to load up the seed in TU1, then check it out in TU30. And I'm doing this because a lot of people know that the seed generation is going to change massively in TU31, but not a lot of people know that it actually has changed quite a lot since Minecraft Xbox 60 first came out more than 3 years ago now, and I thought it'd be really cool to check out, out the seed out in both versions, just so you can see how different it is. So please do like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me like this kind of different thing. But let's get straight into the video. So basically, because it crashes every time I load up a world in TU1, because it's got kind of buggy since then, basically we're going to be loading up this world, but instead of loading it up, like on stream, basically you just have to kind of trust this is IBX Toycat, and that's going to be fine. So yeah, difficulty peaceful. We actually can't turn on creative. My brain was just like, yeah, let's go on creative so we can do Seed Sunday. We actually have to do this in survival. Back in TU1 when this came out, there was no creative option. It was just you do it in survival, and you might be like, oh, well, like at least you can enable host privileges, and you're like, oh. There are my host privileges. So yeah, very, very different time. And let's load up our map for the first time, shall we? And as you can see, we've spawned on this very, very bizarre place that just shows off just how different things are. So yeah, it'll be really fun to compare this to what we have today. But back in TU1, what would happen is you'd spawn in with this very vaguely plains-looking biome on all sides. So you can see it's covered in snow here, but it still looks a lot like a plains. And just a few things you're going to notice and be like, what's wrong with this? First of all the mobs are very glitchy when you go back to TU1. Also, if you want to know how to go back, I've got a tutorial, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, all the mobs get very glitchy when you go back to TU1. So if you look at this chicken, for instance, very glitchy. I've got a glitchy cape attached to me. And then also, the HUD size is unchangeable. If we go into the options, you can see there are some things we can change, but there's no HUD size, and yeah, that's about it. So that's kind of a shame, but that's that right there. At least I can't see the HUD size if it's a thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there isn't anything. Like, that's all the settings right there. That's all you have access to, and yeah, let's do this. So, basically, here's the spawn, and you can see it's covered in some snow. It's got, like, this very plainsy biome looking thing, because although, there were biomes before, TU5, which is when we got most of the ones we know today, like the swamp, etc., there were biomes before this, but they weren't really, the same distinct biomes we have now. Like I said, a swamp is very different to an extreme hills, which is very different to a mushroom biome, which is different to a jungle. Right, with this, it's kind of like, oh, there's a forest, a plains, and then kind of like a desert, and then sometimes there's snow on the other biomes, but there's also a snow biome by itself, and that's kind of it. And although, at the time this was really cool, because it, when it changed from just being all plains to being this, it was nice. Looking back on it now, it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of dope. Also, this is a nice little random hole in the ground. I'm going to mark the coordinates of this and maybe... Oh, there's no coordinates. I'm going to make mental note of where this is roughly on the map and see if this is anything like that. Because that's a very bizarre little hole in the ground with some roses. It seems like a trap. If I wasn't, loading up this world for the first time, I would be more suspicious of that. So, yeah, besides that, if we head this way, we can, see a little bit more this way. Like I said, we have to do this in survival, which means it takes a bit longer. I mean, usually we're flying through in creative, and in this, we can't even sprint because, like I said, T1. But, yeah, really interesting stuff about the seed here is that, first of all, like I said, it's all plainsy, but it's plains with, like, some hills just randomly placed there. And also, unlike a plains, it just has trees pretty much everywhere. But these trees are only the oak trees. Not to say there aren't other trees, but if you... Like, oak trees were a lot more common than the other trees in this, whereas right now, I'd say oak, and birch, although birch is slightly less common, they're found in just about the same places, whereas in this, birch trees only found in the forest. So, an interesting little thing right there. So, random little lighting glitch, always nice to see. There's quite a lot of those around the place, and again, I don't really blame, the developers, because, 4J, sorry, but, like, basically, yeah, you can, this is very early, this was fixed within about a week or two of the game coming out. It was just the one they launched with, and it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of interesting. I'd love to know the reasoning behind why, the cape is this texture. Like, I don't know, like, back when you first played, there wasn't a cape at all, and now there's a cape, but with this, it's something I'd love to know the answer to, but I guess we never know, and will know. I guess we just have to stare at the very bizarre colours and just assume something. So, as we head further towards the south of the map, I think we're going to hit the edge reasonably soon, so we'll turn like left or right. Basically, you can see just over here, as my map said, there is actually a snow biome. So this is the actual taiga biome. This is one of the very, very different biomes they actually did used to have. Like I said, it's kind of like a plains, kind of like a forest, kind of like a snow biome, and kind of like a desert. This is the snow biome. And as you can see, it's actually bizarrely similar to what we have today. It's got the ice instead of the water. It's got the, the spruce trees over here. It's got the occasional chance pumpkins, and it's got snow. It really is one of the least changed biomes, in my opinion. There isn't a cool structure to be found here. There's nothing new there. Over there, you can see one of the foresty things, and in the forest, you can actually see the Birch Tree, like I mentioned. Again, it's kind of like just plains, but with a bunch more trees. And then if we head this way, because I think according to my map there's a bunch of sand, you can see the beaches, which are the edge of biomes, and hopefully we'll be lucky and we'll find a gravel beach, because, although a lot of the biomes are just kind of precursors to existing biomes, there are quite a few biomes that in this update that are just, kind of removed right now because, they've decided they suck for some reason, but it still means they're cool to look at. So first of all, you can see, even though this is a beach and it's kind of like made up of sand, there's still a tiny bit of ice over there from where this biome just went suddenly cold. But yeah, if we hop over here, first of all, oh, no gravel beach. But second of all, you can see over there, I think this is a Savanna Biome. So Savanna Biome is one of the new biomes coming, but a lot of people don't know it's actually based... Oh, that's in the air. That's nice. A lot of people don't know that the Savanna Biome is actually based on, the prior, like, Savanna Biome from before 1.8, which is this thing right here. So this Savanna Biome was very, very boring. There's a reason they removed it. It's not like it was, had acacia trees and all this stuff. It really is just, it's a desert, except it's got grass, and it has this really, I want to say it's an ugly texture. Like, it's wilted grass, and although, it's nice that it's hot and stuff, there just isn't a benefit to this place. It's like a regular plains biome, but it's got different grass. So, although, it is a distinct biome as far as the game's concerned, and although there is something like 11 separate biomes, really it does just boil down to the same ones over and over again. Also, glitchy cows, how very nice to look at. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to kind of curve round and go up a little bit more. I don't think we can explore the whole map today, or we will be here for literally hours, and maybe that is the best thing for some of you, but I do think a lot of you are like, okay, we're getting the point. Okay, can you sprint so you can? No, I can't sprint. It makes me sad. I honestly, like, every now and then, I'm like, okay, let's try sprinting. And I'm like, oop, yep, that's obviously not going to work. So if we head forward some more, I'm hoping, because you can see there's some gravel next to the beach, I'm hoping we will find a gravel beach, because they were actually quite common before they were removed. They were surprisingly common. Like, finding a sand beach was almost just as rare as finding a gravel beach, which means that if we just look around long enough, we should be able to find one. So, over there maybe? I'm not even sure. So, oh wait, actually, I think over there I see something. Even if we don't, we'll check it out. So, basically here you can see, looking at the map, it's very, very kind of dull, again, compared to what we have today, because even... Wait, is that... Okay, it's a sheep. I was like, that's a very big chicken, because the rows made it look like it was the beak. But, yeah, if we head just over here, then you can see the closest things we had to an Extreme Hills biome was just, mountains which generated everywhere, and they were cool and stuff, but I really don't think they're as cool as the Extreme Hills biome is today. So there's the oh no, it's actually a genuine gravel beach. So here's the closest thing we have to a gravel beach. It's not a massive one, but it's a reasonable sized one, and the really cool thing about these was not that they're made out of gravel. Also, gravel had a different texture. Like, if you're wondering, this is still gravel. Like, I'll pick it up just to show you if you don't believe me. So there's gravel. But yeah, the interesting thing about gravel beaches is not just that they're made out of gravel, because no one really ever wants gravel, right? Like, hashtag nerf gravel. That's what they did with the texture. But the really interesting thing about this to me is the fact that, you could actually get really cool seeds, like the 404 seed, where if you broke one gravel, and we might be able to find one now, if there was a cave anywhere near it, it'd kind of make this chain reaction thing, and we're not getting lucky here, but basically it means that you have a decent chance when you break a block in a gravel beach biome of it, the whole thing falling down and revealing a cool cave. And there was an entire challenge called the 404 challenge dedicated to that. Obviously you can't do it anymore because no more gravel beach, but still, the idea was there, and it was really cool, and it's pretty awesome in that way. So you can see over there's the biggest mountain I think we've seen on this seed so far, and we'll just go there as like the last little thing to check out, because you can see we've got even right now we've only checked out like a third of a single map, but we've seen most of what there is to see. We haven't seen a true desert, but we've seen a savanna, we've seen the cold taiga biome, or the snow biome as it was probably just known back then, and we've basically seen everything there is to see, even the rarer biomes like the beaches. We've seen all that stuff, but here is a kind of mountain thing. It's the biggest mountain I've seen in quite some time in the old world. It's pretty cool to look at, but it's kind of just that they weren't really worth scaling because they weren't big enough, and that's I really do think that the successors to all this stuff. Usually I'd love to be like, yeah, nostalgia, I'd love to have the gravel beach back, but let's be honest, gravel beach was cool, but no one wants a beach made out of gravel, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the old gravel text would be nice to see again, but yeah, that's that. So if we just get a nice view from up here, you can see just how weird that is to look at. Like, why is there a patch of snow in the plains? No one can really answer that question. So yeah, we've seen just about every biome from TU1 now. Now let's check out the same seed, which we can do much faster in TU30, because it's going to be a lot cooler. So I'm going to go out the game, update it, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so we're back in TU30, good old current or soon-to-be past version of Minecraft, but we can go back from the new world of the IBX second world, and we can open up again, and we can see just how different it is. Also, my settings actually saved, so let's go into creative. We can even go up to easy now, and yeah, isn't it just nice? All these options. I mean, when you think about it, it's nice how simple it was back then, but it's also nice having all of this stuff here. But yeah, let's stop reveling on the past, and let's instead start focusing on again, I don't know if you call it the future or if it's the past, because in like a week it'll be the past, but let's call it both. The present past. The soon-to-be past. So I guess there's no such thing really as the present, because the present's always moving the past. Anyway, let's focus on the seed, which we've just typed in. Let's do this then, shall we? So we'll try and compare this a little bit to where we before. We'll follow the same path, just as an interesting thing, because some things actually do follow on past all of this stuff, like the diamond locations have stayed the same throughout all of this, so we could go down and check this stuff. But I think the really interesting thing I want to check out is, like, you know, at that place where the hole in the ground was, the roses, will there be roses in the same spot? Stuff like that I'm curious about. Because, you know, although they changed the algorithm a lot, they might not necessarily change everything. We definitely don't, but we know that for a fact. So, yeah, instead of spawning on top of a slight hill, we spawn on top of a giant extreme hills biome. You can tell it's extreme hills because of the biome color, and as you can see, it's a bit nicer of a view. Instead of just like, oh, we're like 10 blocks above the ground, we've got like, oh, we can see quite a bit around here. But, yeah, besides that, also, we can change our HUD size down now. I'm going to do that now before I go crazy. So we just quickly turn down the, I don't know where it is. There's too many options. I don't know where it is. Turn down the HUD size to 1, so we can actually be back at normal. And yeah, let's follow the same route we did last time. So I believe I hopped off the mountain. I was like, ooh, look in front of me. And then I started turning around and went this way. So again, there's some similarities, but the big difference you're starting to notice already. Also, wait, is this it's not the same hub. I dreamed and I was wrong. But yeah, basically, this might be the same place it was before, but I don't see the same hole of roses. If the roses are there, then most of them are gone. There's no like 5 roses all close together, which is a shame. But yeah, besides that, we headed like kind of towards this direction. We eventually ended up in a snow biome, but in this particular case we didn't. And even actually, I've just noticed now, we actually spawned way further back. Even our spawn location has changed since TU1. In TU1 we spawned roughly, I guess it'd be the equivalent of maybe like 100 blocks ahead, because we spawned very, very close to the center of the map, where there's now a village, funnily enough. Yeah, basically we spawned roughly over here, which means maybe if we do the same thing again, but from here, we might just find that little collection of roses. I want to believe it's... Oh! There is a bunch of roses here, in roughly the same place. It could be related, or it could be a coincidence. I'll take it. So, yeah, as you can see, if we just look around the same parts of the seed, it's very, very different. What used to be, you know, the cold taiga biome with a plains nearby it has become this. What used to be the savanna biome, it looks like has become an extreme hills biome. In fact, quite a lot of the biomes have all turned into extreme hills biome. What was a gravel beach? A beach, you know, plains, yeah, like all this stuff together is all just one giant extreme hills biome now, because like just took over a lot of the generation, I think, it seems like. And although it's nice to look at because you get these crazy things, it is, you know, not quite. It was actually used to be more varied, which is kind of interesting to think about. And then over here you can see just more plains. So yeah, it's very, very interesting to me that in quite a few places it seems like variety was removed with the update. Because although an extreme hill biome has a decent amount of variety in itself, it's not quite as varietous. That's not a word. There's not quite much as variety as you'd expect. Like there isn't these 4 biomes with all the separate blocks and the gravel and the sand and all this stuff. It's just dirt and some flowers and some trees every now and then, and that's kind of interesting. But if we look around the rest of the seed that we get a chance at, so what used to be a mountain just over there, again, it's changed into extreme hill biome. This seed does have quite a few of those, but it's still interesting that it seems as though there's a loose correlation between what used to be mountains and what's now extreme hills, because this is the same kind of hill there was before, where I kind of climbed up it, but next to it, what used to be the mountain is now a giant mountain. It goes like 100 blocks in the sky, and that's kind of interesting to me. There's also a lot more kind of snowy stuff, which is kind of interesting. Instead of just random patches of snow in the ground, we've instead got this, and yeah, it's kind of interesting that way. And also this desert biome that I don't believe was there before, here it is now. So yeah, this is a very, very interesting little case study. I think it was kind of cool to check out what used to be and what is there now. Let me know what you think as far as, like, is there anything from the TU1 version of Seed that you prefer to the TU30 version, or do you just prefer the whole thing? Because I personally think, you know, like I said, I prefer changes for the most part, but I do think maybe, you know, more variety, you know, even if you had to keep a lamer biome to keep more variety, that might be an okay thing. Also, we got a glitch where the village didn't properly generate. That's nice. Anyway, yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Always curious to start the discussion and see what's going on there. But other than that, please do like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let me know you do like it. I want to see more TU1 videos. I think, you know, once TU31's been out a while, I'd love to do like a, you know, kind of like a, maybe go back to TU5, maybe go back to TU1. Let me know what you think about that. But otherwise, I'm going to go set my settings all the way back, because right now we've got a, you know, we're Steve, and we've got really weird stuff like that. So I'm going to fix that right now. But thank you all for watching. Have a nice day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, TU31 Seed Sunday will be crazy and a lot. Just watch out for that next week. But yeah, goodbye.